Kevin Gallant is with us. Right? Hey, Kevy. He's former voice of the Calgary Stampeders, Regina Pats, San Francisco Spiders, Las Vegas Thunder, and everywhere else. How you doing, Kevy?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I'm so sorry that you had to bear witness to that, Chad. I didn't realize that you were ready to go out there in Vancouver. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thanks very much for having me. Yeah, it's all good. Then you owe me dinner now, because then you'll have a friend for life.
Listen,
I'll be
these
there
old
in January.
These old WHL stories and CFL stories, for that matter, you got a million. And I should mention to you, I was with George Cortez in Houston on Friday, and he said, Kevin Gallant, will you say hi to Kevin Gallant for me? So you guys were together with the Stampeders, hey?
Yeah, 92 Grey Cup. He was the offensive coordinator. Great guy. He was with the Stampeders for a long time, and he's an absolute gem of a human being. And boy, talk about a great positive person to hang around. Awesome guy.
Yeah, he knows his stuff for sure. Where should we start with Kevin, Kelly?
Oh,
I mean, I obviously could go for hours with this guy. Can you talk about the BC Lions? Because you're very connected to that scene, Kevin. What do you know?
I'm not connected anymore.
Well, pretend that you are.
My season tickets.
Yeah, you're a season ticket holder then. What's it going to take to restore the BC Lions to prominence? Is it even possible? Because you and I were there together, 55,000 people showing up to BC Place Stadium. These days, nobody would believe that was the case. Can they ever get back to that?
No, never. They need new ownership. Nothing's going to happen until that occurs, in my mind. They need new ownership, and the league probably needs to expand to 10 teams. I don't even like the stadium they play in. It's so big. It seems empty. There's just not a feel. I thought they had a chance when they were playing in that temporary stadium. There was a lot of atmosphere there. Carried over a little bit, but I had trouble giving my tickets away, and I had 4 season tickets, and we didn't even renew them last year. And considering to get them this year, but you were able to get tickets for $10, $20 outside if you really wanted. People were giving them away. So, but they've made changes, thankfully. But I still don't think they've made the right change. I think the organization is in need of a major overhaul, and it starts with ownership. I just think it's blasé. It doesn't do anything for me. And we had 6 season tickets religiously for many years.
Listen, a couple things. One, I just want to tell the viewers and listeners that don't know, Kevin Gallant's the reason that I'm in broadcasting. He is my ultimate first mentor, and he didn't even know it. So that's what I think of this guy that's with us right now. Now, after I buttered you up, let me tell you this. BC Place Stadium, if they built it now, I'm told would be $5 billion. Could be the nicest stadium on the continent, Kevin. I mean, that can't be what's keeping people away.
It just seems dead in that building. I just think it's so big. It's not the actual beauty of the stadium. It's just so big. And I think they're going to have a tough time. And, there's a lot of people, all you hear on talk shows, people going to Seattle to see the Seahawks play and the Canucks. The BC Lions do get some coverage, quite a bit actually. But at the end of the day, they're just not, for a lot of people in that region of Vancouver, I don't think they're that cool. Now, had they been out in the valley, I think they'd have a much better chance. But I to go into the city, for me to go in the city and spend an hour to go in and go back, I'm not all fussed up about it. Maybe I'm just getting old.
You guys jump in anytime, because I can go all day with Kevin.
Well, so could I. But I'm always going to default to the Pats, right?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Of course. Apparently that's what they all want.
Absolutely.
So Bob Strom.
Awesome guy.
Kevin. Oh, I know. He was on the show with me on Tuesday. I tried to get you on. And by the way, thanks for coming on today, because we couldn't make Tuesday work. Strummer tells a story about you from, I believe it was the playoffs in Calgary in Game 7 in 1981. And he said, the only way that because I asked about you specifically, I said, when I say Kevin Gallant, what do you think of? And he says, well, here's what I think of Kevin Gallant. Game 7, Calgary Wranglers in Calgary, 1981. Wally Schreiber scores in overtime. And he says, here's Kevin Gallant's call. In the shot, he scores! Wally Schreiber! Wally Schreiber! Wally Schreiber! Wally Schreiber! Wally Schreiber! He said
You didn't stop?
six of them! Six of them!
No, I didn't say it 6 times. I said Wally Schreiber. Schreiber. He thinks they've won the Stanley Cup. Schreiber. Schreiber. And it was like we beat Doug Sauter and his Calgary Wranglers, and it was that was a great moment. I got to be a part of 7 great 40+ win seasons, and then Doug Sauter came on board. But yeah, a lot of memories with Strummer. My son was out in Portland at their Winter Hawks camp and found out he's kind of affiliated with the Winterhawks, and saw him out there, and quite an enjoyable visit. I was just in Las Vegas the other day, had a chance to chat with him as well. He's doing real well, and I'd love to see a banner at the Agronome with him, because I've looked at the history of the Regina Pats. Nobody deserves it more to have a big banner for those consecutive win seasons. You have to remember, he took a team from last place to first. I remember in the office it said, if you're afraid to talk about the Memorial Cup, you'll never be in it. And that was Jimmy Loria, who also worked for the Capitals after that. But they had that was the slogan. And that year, to be in the Memorial Cup, you had to win the Western Hockey League Championship. And there was a 3-team Memorial Cup. And the Pats, coming into the season, even though we had Wickenheiser, Veach, were the last place team the year prior. And Brian Murray was the head coach. It was a magical year. And I remember having the opportunity to cover every game, traveled on the road, the whole bit. And it was just a magical season. And the team finished first. And that was the start of a lot of 40+ win seasons, like 350 wins in 7 years. And I think Strummer doesn't get enough credit because when you take a look at what's been accomplished since then, there's been some great teams and great seasons, but to do it 7 out of 7, and he left, and I swear that if he had have stayed, they'd still would have had another couple 40 more plus win seasons. He was kind of lead.
He went to pro hockey, so
but
no, not his fault.
But Kevin, maybe between you, Rod, and myself, we could start a movement to get Bob Strom inducted as a builder. I'm actually being quite serious here. Could you imagine the party that you would have if you inducted Bob Strom as a builder, hanging his name from the rafters, and be a big ceremony for him? The guys that would come back between 79 and 84, it would be the greatest Regina Pat party ever.
There was a banner in the southwest corner of the Brand Center that honored builders, and it had Graham Teward, Bob Strum, and Lauren Davis. I think were the 3.
So is Strummer, is he up there then?
I believe he is, but that banner's not there anymore. Yeah,
he's not on the big banner when I went to the arena.
Yeah, they took it down, and I don't know why. Yeah. Hey, Kevy, some people are wanting the Mickey Mouse story from you. So, look at he starts laughing. You don't know it, do you, Darren?
I don't.
You kids on the couch over there, put your headphones on, because this is an all-timer. I'm going to put my feet up and stoke the fire, Kevin. Go ahead.
Moose Jaw. I used to work and live in Moose Jaw. My first job was with the Canucks in the SJHL. But I remember Moose Jaw just came into the Western Hockey League, and good rivalry with the Regina Pats. And we were winning early in the first year or two, and then Fleury came and changed a lot of that. But I remember one night I was doing the broadcast. And, I like to give everybody, the proper statistics, assists and goals, and as well wanted to give everybody the shots on goal. Well, they shut the clock off right after the game, and it wasn't the first time. And I was in kind of probably in a pissy mood or whatever, and I just called them a Mickey Mouse organization. And boy, was ever a lot of feedback. They had a Mickey Mouse night for me the next time we were there.
I bought the ears.
Gay Stewart went and bought millions of ears to give to the fans. And then I was actually afraid, and I got Rocky Trelevin and Pat Fiacco, the mayor, Pat Fiacco, who ended up becoming the mayor. He was there. We went dressed up in costumes. I think I was Donald Duck. There was so that they wouldn't attack me or wouldn't be able to see who I was. And I remember going down in intermission and getting a couple of plaques, which I still have today, from Mayor Scoop Lurie. acknowledging Mickey Mouse Night in Moose Jaw, and but the building was packed. I did the whole play-by-play in a Donald Duck costume, and people were just looking at me, and tried to have a little bit of fun there, right?
I bought one of those years.
Everybody, but we did have people who wanted to fight me. There was no question about it. But when you have guys like Pat Fiacco, who was a Golden Gloves boxer, and one of the top boxers in Canada, and then Rocky Trelevin, who I think bounced at the Gold and a number of other places, and was a rugby player, big guy, played football. Yeah, milestone guy. Like, I was pretty safe that night. So, but it was in the crushed can. So only portions of the people could actually see me in the Donald Duck costume doing the broadcast.
Well, Jamie Nugelbauer, the voice of the Notre Dame Hounds, is watching. He writes in and he says, wow, you're doing something right as a broadcaster when people care that much. And the first Trans-Canada Clash, which Kelly was the chairman of, he was the chairman of all of them, but I was in the Civic Center crush can with you, Kevin, and I remember we walked out and you said, I am not setting foot in this place until they demolish it and build a new rink. And you're good to your word. They now have a new rink in Moose Jaw. Have you been?
Yeah. Yes, I was. I went there trying to get some product in there on a business visit. So I have definitely been there, and it's a beautiful facility. And I'm so proud that Moose Jaw got themselves a fabulous facility for hockey. And it was a good feel to go in there. But you're right. I did not march into that building, back into that old crushed can. Although I had lots of good memories, certainly from the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League days. And then, of course, lots of games with Moose Jaw Warriors and the Regina Pats.
Kevin.
We got to run, Kel.
Do we?
Yeah,
okay.
We got to run. So, Kevin, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. And keep in touch, my man. Keep those kids playing hockey out there. Looks like they're doing great.
Yeah, they're doing great. And we look forward to talking to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Kevy.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.